Today's adventure, Glacier National Park, where we have a few different stops, and we're headed to stop number 1. Woohoo!
And Peyton, and at the beginning of 2022, we moved into our 39-foot fifth wheel with our 2 dogs, Zinc and Echo, to start traveling the U.S. full-time. We are so excited to share with you the adventures that we find next. The first stop of the day is Trail of the Cedars, and it's supposed to match up with another trailhead to Avalanche Lake. We're just going to do this big loop, but there is an offshoot to the Avalanche Lake trail, which shouldn't be too much longer, and I think we want to do that one too. Now this trail is supposed to be basically a huge boardwalk through all these gorgeous cedar trees. It's really a unique environment. It's very dense. Not really what we expected, but Avalanche Lake is supposed to be really pretty. And our game plan is to do shorter hikes today so we can see more of the park, and this is a really popular one. We just hit the fork in the road between continuing on the Trail of the Cedars or going to Avalanche Lake. We wanted to do Avalanche Lake. We verified that it is 1.8 miles one way, so it'll be about 4 miles. Then we come back, finish Trail of the Cedars, then we'll head out. But I hear Avalanche Lake is really awesome, so I'm pumped.
It was a pretty good hike. Most of the hike was in the shade, but we're finally getting some sun. It's a little bit hazy, I think, because of the smoke.
From the fires, yeah.
But still, great views. There's 2 waterfalls that we can hear from here, which that's very surprising. We just had a quick lunch break.
It's beautiful. And the hike was awesome. Like, I'm not being like, oh, we have to hike back. Like, there's places you can stop off, and there's viewpoints, and you walk by a river for the majority of the time, and the trees are gorgeous. So it's all around like a perfect hike because there's really not a downside to it at all.
So we'll wrap up here, take a few pictures, and then start heading back.
Boom, boom. Fire power.
We're headed down. We've got a great pace, obviously, going downhill. I was telling Peyton on the way up to that lake, we are really blessed to be able to travel the way we do, because whenever you come for vacations, you're from Oklahoma, you have all this elevation gain. It takes you a week to get used to it, and then right when you get used to it, you got to go back home. So us being real slow, traveling 2 weeks at a time, we get up here, we're acclimated.
Like, what's the last hike we did?
The last hike we did,
I don't know. We haven't been hiking in a while. We've done so many other activities in these other parks, like paddleboarding in the Tetons. overnight camping in Yellowstone.
True. Well, we made it back and survived. Great hike. Time to regroup, pack up, drive to the next trail.
We have gotten over the shock of how close those rams, what were they? Rams? So yes, now that we've gotten over the shock of how close those rams were and how many of them there were, we can kind of tell you where we're at. So we are at Logans Pass on Hidden Lake Trail, and I'm already in love. I'm already obsessed with where we're at, and I don't want to leave. These views are absolutely incredible.
As the sun slowly crept into the sky, it filled the morning air with warmth and life. Sounds of birds in harmony. You there right next to me.
It's just snow. It's August.
Oh, no matter where we go, oh, my heart is yours to hold.
So many steps on this one.
Through all the storms, I'm by your side. Through days of warmth,
We found it. I don't know if you can see it, but I took some pictures of it. I heard there was some down closer earlier, but we missed those. Fine with a far one. See him twitching his ear?
Processing. Like, they were so close. Like, I was standing with a group of people on this boardwalk, and I mean, probably could have reached out and touched it. It was so close. And they say just like stand still. They weren't bothered, but when they got close to each other, they got a little fussy. So crazy. I love it here.
Made it back to the motorcycle. Overall, that hike was a 10 out of 10. Beautiful views of the mountain, perfect at sunset, but the wildlife was not quite so wild. It was very tame life, I guess I should say, but it was so close, and I never expected anything to be that close, and that many of them, really.
Yeah.
So cool.
We had amazing wildlife, amazing views. Like, it's just so vast. We met
amazing people.
Some really cool people.
That's
Shout
correct.
out to Fred. He's from Idaho.
Logan.
Super nice. Logan and Kara. We might see them again because we are kindred spirits. But we sat and talked to them. We like pulled into the parking lot and literally talked to them for like 30-45 minutes, didn't even go do anything.
Well, they got a BMW motorcycle as well. But we're gonna close this up here and head out. We gotta get, the sun is setting and we're gonna, you know, go out on a sunset ride.